All right. Welcome. Welcome back. It's Sakimoto 24, and I'm coming at you with another draft battle review video. I think this is week 5, and as usual, I have with me the Goomer 22. Goomer,
Hello.
how was your evening, Goomer?
Going pretty well. A little chilly, but
Yep.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah. You in the chilly basement?
Yep, always just living down here in the basement,
I like a chilly basement.
basically.
It's something comforting. It's like Bush's attic, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's I like the cold for that reason. But anyways, we're gonna jump into these battles. There's some good battles. Week 5, we're nearing the end of the regular season. I think there's only one more week, so we're in for some exciting battles, and I think people are trying to wrap up their season, make the playoff cuts, things like that. So you want to hop into this, Goomer?
Absolutely. I haven't looked at any of the battles, so all I know, and I didn't even have one, but yeah, I haven't looked at any of the results or anything. So
All right then. Well, this will be good then. I haven't watched most of the games. I've watched a couple. I'll be honest, but yeah, let's hop into them so everybody can see. Um, Game 1. Uh, the first match we have to review is it's mine.
it's yours.
Sakimoto, and I'm taking on Murray the fourth. Not gonna say anything about the match. It was a sweaty one. It was a close one, but yeah, I'm not gonna say anything further about it. And you can kind of take the lead on this match, Goomer.
Yeah, I mean, just from initial impressions, like your Rillaboom looks like it exerts so much pressure against Murray. He could actually switch up the terrain with Prankster Klefki. If it outspeeds that Rillaboom, reset the grassy terrain for like a misty terrain, and then maybe hit you with like an X Scissor from the Armaldo. So that could be something interesting. Um, I mean, if Rain's up, Inteleon also, Max Hydro Cans are going to be doing big damage, even to that Kartana who resists it, because um, Cardano doesn't have great specialty. And the other thing is, I think Seismitoad can run Water Absorb or Swift Swim. I think so.
Yeah.
It could be Water Absorb, so that could be kind of sneaky. And Urshifu counters that Dragon Bolt really hard with Sucker Punch and stuff. But again, that Clefairy won't be able to protect Urshifu with Follow Me because that Klefki is most likely running Dazzling Gleam. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We see the Drifblim. I'm expecting a Grassy Seed. And I think this is a pretty similar team that Murray's used every week. So I'm not sure if he switches up the sets or whatnot, but I think he likes to bring most of these mons every time. So yeah, so let's jump into it.
Alrighty. And as expected, I do go with the Drifblim Rillaboom lead.
So Murray leads Dragapult, Kartana. Interesting. So, Drifblim does threaten the Dragapult with like a Shadow Ball or something, but it just opts to Tailwind. Okay. Do we see a knockoff from Rillaboom potentially? Superpower. Interesting. And just Oko is that Kartana who actually has pretty good defense. So that Rillaboom might be choice banned. Wow, Dragapult Flamethrower, good tech. Doesn't quite take out the Rillaboom though. Okay, so you've got speed control here. Unsure of what the items are on the Dragapult or the Rillaboom. Oh wait, Dragapult's Life Orb. It lost some damage. Yeah, we see the Klefki could potentially switch terrains, and we see the switch out from Rillaboom. So I am wondering if that Rillaboom's choice band because that did big damage, and you opted to switch out. Let's see. We see the Rain Dance from Klefki, setting it up early. Sableye can also carry weather moves like Sunny Day, so I wonder if that comes out. In addition, Sableye could just quash you could just leave Rain up and just quash Murray's Swift Swim users. That tailwind's up for 2 more turns here, so you're still gonna have speed control. Interesting, the Dragapult's not clear body. It has that special D lowered.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Could have been. I don't know what it was. I'm guessing Infiltrator. It could have been Cursed Body though.
Infiltrator. Is there another? What's the other move or ability it gets?
I think it gets Cursed Body and Infiltrator.
Cursed Body. Interesting.
Its Cursed Body would be nice. I mean, that would super counter any choice Pokemon.
Right. Okay, so just spreading the burn. In that chip. Shadow Ball takes out Murray. Okay, so you're up 2-0 right now. A little bit of damage on Woman Sableye. Rillaboom's pretty low. I mean, the burn doesn't matter too much on Klefki. It's just getting that chip damage. See there, Amaldo in the Swift Swim. Misses a Will-O-Wisp. Ooh, do we see the X-Scissor or possibly a Smackdown on the Drifblim? A Rock Slide. Another Tailwind to set up.
Oh, Armaldo bops here.
Wow, and a double KO for Armaldo.
I wonder.
Even with that defense boost from Drifblim.
I love Armaldo, so I'm glad to see him kind of do some, be utilized. But that Rock Slide hurt. I wonder if he's Choice Band. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was wondering that too. Could have been Expert Belt. I mean, Drifblim's not super defensive, but you did have that Grassy Seed defense boost. And I'm not sure how bulky the Sableye was either, but now you've got the Clefairy redirection. Yeah, okay, so opts to switch out the Klefki, actually. Dynamaxing and Inteleon right away. I know you've gone for the Sniper Ceps before. Oh, a Helping Hand. Armaldo might be gone. Yep, Max Airstream. That's why I went with the Helping Hand. I was wondering because I figured a guy just taking it out, but getting that speed control with the Tailwind up.
I could have Geysered, but I was thinking he's probably gonna switch out Klefki, and I can't follow me Rock Slide, so I might as well just Helping Hand and do something. Airstream gives me a little speed control.
Okay, so now you opt for the Follow Me. I wonder if... oh, wow, we don't see the Max from Dreadnought. That's very surprising. I could have taken a huge Max Geyser right there. Opts to Rock Slide to bypass that Follow Me. Ah, I see. But that Friend Guard really helping Inteleon out.
Now this, I think, was a huge play, if I remember correctly.
Switches out Klefki. Dynamaxes. Do we see a Max Guard to waste the last turn of Dynamax? Helping Hand. We do see the Max Guard.
Yeah, I wanted to see that damage. A Helping Hand in the rain, Hydro Snipe with Life Orb. That was a really nice Max Guard.
Could be Assault Vest, but even then, I'm not sure if it lives that. Okay, so Dynamax over. Murray's got 2 turns left here. Klefki, I'm wondering what we see with the Prankster Klefki. Maybe just a Dazzling Game to get chipped with that Follow Me. Shadow Ball, doing about half on Klefki. Hit KO. See the Stone Surge take out the Clefairy. Klefki's going for an attacking move for sure because it didn't go for his Prankster. Foul play, interesting. Always a nice tech on Klefki, especially because you can just go defensive and use Prankster move for priority. But if someone sets up or is a big physical attacker, you can just hit him for some decent damage with Foul Play. Dreadnought running Sash. Inteleon's got a little bit of speed control here. But Klefki sets up the Rain. Dreadnought might go first. Does it take out the Inteleon? Ooh, Dreadnought's still slower. That Inteleon's super fast. Who does he opt to go for? The Flutterby, lowering that Inteleon damage output. With 1.5 speed, especially if you're running Timid, that's at about 190 times 1.5. That's at 2, 280 or so. So you'd have to be at least 140 or 150 speed, outspeed in the rain. And this Urshifu likely carrying Sucker Punch, which means both of these, the Dreadnought and Seismitoad, are threatened. And we already saw that Inteleon outspeeds Dreadnought, so I would expect a Sucker Punch on the Seismitoad. Okay, but a Sucker Punch on the Dreadnought.
Yeah, so I actually looked it up the other, right before the match.
Yeah.
When I was doing calcs, Seismitoad and Dreadnought, I believe, actually have the same speed stat.
I don't even think they get to 150, do they? I think is their max like
their base
144.
Their base 74, so they don't. I don't think they get.
So
no, they don't get 150.
It's like 137. It might be like 137 then. Is their max?
I think it's pretty. Yeah. And I didn't even calc to see if Inteleon outsped with an Airstream, but yeah, that worked. Murray played really well at the end of that game. I could have. It was hard because I wanted to snipe shot that Klefki. But I was like, there is a chance he's running that Water Absorb Seismitoad. And without Rillaboom, I can't one-shot it. So I was a little scared. And he played it really well. He didn't protect the Dreadnought, and I ended up going for the Klefki. And then he max guarded right when I did a Helping Hand and Geyser. So he almost brought it back. And that was, I was shaking.
I think what really would have made it interesting is if that flamethrower would have done a little bit more damage on that Rillaboom, and then if the pointed stones would have then had the potential to KO your Rillaboom, then you essentially don't have Rillaboom in the back. Then
honestly, I think
if it's going to die. So that if you were in pointed stones range, I think the game would have been really interesting there at the end.
I think it probably would have went Murray's way. I mean, I wanted to try out Choice Band Rillaboom, and I think maybe it was the play, but he led what I was somewhat scared of, which is 2 very high offense Pokemon. So I had to choose. I could knock off the Dragapult, which would probably Oko, or superpower the Kartana. Because if Rillaboom goes down turn 1, because I am leaving one of his Pokemon free to attack. So if Rillaboom goes down turn 1, I'm looking really bad. So I'm very lucky he didn't. And
yeah, I'm curious what the Kartana's item was. And could have been Assault Vest, but a Kartana Aerial Ace would have done big damage on that Rillaboom. So I wonder if you needed the Choice Band to KO. I feel like you might have.
Yeah, I don't know if superpower KOs without the Choice Band.
I think it'll depend on his EVs.
Yeah, I want to say no, but who knows? I mean.
Yeah, but good game to both. Kept it really close. Some nice plays, some nice switches, and yeah. Let's just move on to the.
It was a close one. I thought Rillaboom was going to really carry me against this rain team, and it was intense. But yeah, okay, we're moving on.
So I think Stingray might be my guy.
I think Stingray is my.
Yes, and we have Tindall.
No.
Oh my, we're seeing the who's that? Shieldon.
Yeah, and Shogun.
Interesting. I love the Sandaconda bring. That's awesome.
I know you're a fan of the Sandy Snake.
Yeah. What's your take on the matchup?
So I'm thinking here. I mean, I like Tindall's team. He's got the classic Torkoal Venusaur. It's really scary, really hard to deal with. And he's got Swampert, who I like. He's got Tailwind, Crobat, Metagross. A lot of tools he can use.
They both have Tailwind with Braviary and Crobat.
Yeah, and Crobat now has, I think outspeeds everyone in this match. He's the fastest Pokemon out of all 6. So, does he get Inner Focus? He does get Inner Focus.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
typically runs Inner Focus and. So Thwackey and Mineshaw, can't fake it out, which is really interesting. And that typical Queenly Majesty from Serena, I don't think will come into play really because there doesn't seem to be too much priority on Tindall's side. However, I'm really interested if this Serena is carrying Triple Axle, because Triple Axle could hit 3 of Tindall's mons for big damage that Serena, typically wouldn't be able to without that Isle of Armor move now.
Yeah, and we're seeing like the Cinderace is just such a strong G-Max. I think we've talked about this before. Such a strong G-Max. If MyGuy can play around it well, he can do well. He's done it before. I'm curious to see what this Mind Shout does. I mean, is it just going to do some fake out close combat stuff? Or, I don't use this Pokemon a whole lot. On Tindall's side, I have no idea what Shelgon can do. I mean, I know it can have Eviolite.
Yeah,
It's probably pretty bulky, at least physically, but
yeah.
I don't know what
I
the
don't
plan
know its
is.
ability. If I had to guess, I'd guess it's like battle armor or something like that. No crits, but I think another interesting thing is Stingray doesn't have any like prankster or any way to change weather really, except for potentially Sand Spit Sandaconda. So I
True.
wonder if he uses Sandaconda, just to sack it and get that sand up, when it's hit with an attack. I think that could be really
Absolutely.
interesting.
We might see that. It's interesting. We'll see what comes into play. I'm hopping on into it.
Yeah.
Crobat looks like we're going for an early Tailwind setup on the side of Tindall. And Venusaur. Now, could he be trying to intimidate him with sleep powder stuff, or maybe okay.
I don't know if he would risk a sleep powder with that Mind Chow out, but
Yeah,
Mind
no.
Chow can't fake out Crobat. But at least the sun's not up, so it doesn't hit this Venusaur.
I expect to switch out into Max Quake. What do we see here? Or he could just Tailwind.
Wow, that's gonna be Scarf Mind Chow. What's beating that Crobat?
Wow, this is
Scarf,
a humongous
Goku,
turn.
Mind.
We do see the Max Quake. Ooh. Let's do it. It did a lot of damage, but I wonder if is this Cinderace Assault Vest? That's
Line
one
type.
shot on the Venusaur.
Wow.
And right
Honestly,
here, I mean, this Cinderace is looking really good. And we just talked about it. Once Cinderace gets going, it is hard to stop. So we'll have to see how Tindall can react to this.
Oh, I guess it felt like an obvious play there, just to Tailwind and go for the Max Quake on Cinderace. And I wonder if I feel like sometimes the obvious moves are you try to do something crazy and it just doesn't work out, and the obvious move's the better move. But I wonder if MyGuy just said, you know what, there's really no drawback to us Max Airstreaming. I mean, it could have switched in Metagross, but you also risk Max Flaring, and then the Metagross would take that, and just get O-code. So kind of a safe play by MyGuy. I like it, especially because he kind of expects the Tailwind from Crobat, so he wants to get that extra speed control. And now he's just got times 2 speed, times 2 attack, times 2 defense. Kind of low, but again, like I said, you don't really have priority on Tindall's side, so I don't know how he's gonna hit this Cinderace and take it out.
Now, I mean,
obviously Scarf Mind Chow.
Yeah, Scarf Mind Chow can't really do anything, so if he doubles into the Cinderace, I mean, he's bound to take it out at some point, and we might see that here. Yeah, so...
Yeah, okay.
But MyGuy putting in work. I mean, all he's lost so far is his G-Max Cinderace, and Tindall only has 3 Pokemon left.
Scarf Mind Chow can't do too much, and the other thing is, Sandy kind of doesn't have the best special defense. Torkoal actually looks really good against the rest of Stingray's team. You see the Thwackey come in. If Tindall gets rid of Sandaconda, he will have speed control, or not speed control, weather control for the rest of the game. I would guess, unless somebody's carrying a weird tech move. But yeah, we see that Sandspit come out. Good protect by Tindall. Depending on the speed, Sandaconda or Metagross, they have both very similar speed. So depending on how much speed investment, I'm not sure who's faster here. But Thwackey can just fake out now here. And send the Torkoal. I wonder if he fakes out the Metagross and goes for another high horsepower.
I mean, I think the key here is keeping that Torkoal healthy. I think you're right.
Yeah, he's not really threatened with all those grass types on MyGuy's side. He's not really threatened by the Swampert. But yeah, Metagross just eats that up and now has, weakness policy and big damage output. But the problem is this Torkoal's going to be going slow, and the Sandaconda could just high horsepower it and really some good work on it. Thwackey probably going to knock off the Torkoal, I would guess. He knocks off the Metagross. Torkoal has to go for Heat Wave. I don't think you can risk an eruption here.
Absolutely not. But I mean, maybe he's not carrying it either. Oh, he goes for a Solar Beam on the Sandaconda. He wants to get rid of the Sandaconda. Oh, but he eats it with a... Wow, Rindo Berry. That was really smart.
Yeah, so I wonder if he was expecting to take a max overgrowth from that Venusaur and get that sand back up. Great prep by MyGuy. I wonder if that Sandaconda has a lot of special D investment too, just to ensure it lives. But no item on the Meteoross, so you don't get that damage boost. So Meteoross ends up surviving. Sandaconda is faster. I think Tindall could have maybe switched to Swampert there and saved that Torkoal, and then taken out the Sandaconda. However, Stingray's just got some faster Pokemon in the back anyways, so it's gonna be near impossible for Tindall to bring this back.
Yeah, and as you can see, he threw out the GG earlier there. I mean, MyGuy just had an incredibly explosive lead, and I don't think Tindall expected that he would be that ballsy, and the Scarf coaching was kind of insane. Yeah,
right. You typically expect like a fake out. But you potentially have like wide guard Mind Chow for like Heat Waves or eruptions, and again you expect that Crobat to threaten it with like an air move or even Tailwind going first, but Mind Chow just says, I don't care, I'm just going to Scarf coaching and just get this Cinderace going, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, now you can see kind of without the Tailwind and the Venusaur Chlorophyll stuff, I mean, Tindall does not have a lot of speed control and speed in general. I mean, we have Torkoal, Swampert, Metagross, and Shelgon. I think the highest base speed out of those is Metagross. So, and being that, MyGuy's up in the amount of Pokemon left, I mean, he can just constantly launch off attacks and just slowly chip them down. And that's kind of what we're seeing.
Yep.
And it should be the end any second now. Something interesting. Something interesting here is MyGuy brought 6 physical Pokemon. 6 physical attackers. Not one of them usually goes hybrid. I mean, they are 6 physical attackers. I don't know if Tindall has an Intimidator on team, but even if he did, we have the Braviary on the side of MyGuy. I mean, clearly his plan worked out. We're seeing Cinderace just be so dominant. What do you kind of gather from that match, Goomer?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to point out, that he has 6 physical mons. I mean, you do have the Braviary Defiant and the Mind Chow with Inner Focus, and even if Tindall did have an Intimidator, you could just coaching and remove that Intimidate from the Cinderace and just give it that defense boost and then keep doing it. So even so, yeah, Intimidate is a little too risky with that Braviary out there. So I think, yeah, bringing the Double Grass, really threatening to Tindall. I think the max turn 1 was really risky, especially considering I'd have to run the calcs, but I'm not sure Max Quake ever really kills Cinderace unless you're potentially running like no bulk and you're like max modest Life Orb of Venusaur, because it's not stab. But the other thing is, given the speed tiers, yeah, there is Tailwind and Chlorophyll, but I wonder if MyGuy did just run more bulk in Cinderace, because what's he need to outspeed? He can't outspeed Crobat naturally, and with Venusaur, it gets up to like 134 or something like that, or maybe 140s if you're timid. I'm not sure, but yeah. So he could have been running some bulk on that Cinderace, which could throw off some calcs for sure. And I like the Sandaconda with the Rindo Berry. I thought that was a really nice bring. I was really interested in the Shieldon as well. I wanted to see what that would do more, but it just kind of got killed pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think, it was a really nice bring on the side of MyGuy. That explosive start kind of put him just in a dominant position for the rest of the game. Kind of took out his main forms of speed control as well as his Dynamax. Really well played. Tindall's team, they still, I think they have so much potential. And it was actually a read if you think about the start of the game, because With Scarf Mindchow, I mean, you can only do coaching. So let's say Cinderace Dynamaxes, and Tindall makes a slightly risky play, switches in the Torkoal or goes for the Tailwind and goes for a Sleep Powder. Like maybe he had Wide Lens Sleep Powder. He could have just put his Dynamax, MyGuy's Gmax to sleep, and then you have Scarf Mindchow out there doing really nothing with coaching. I mean, so it was slightly risky play, but we're seeing it. We're seeing it pay off big, and it kind of resulted in
Yeah,
form, so.
I think a lot of people might be scared to scarf into a supportive move like that,
Mm-hmm.
but in draft, sometimes those big risky plays can really throw your opponent off, and you can just start to steamroll them like we saw with MyGuy, and I think it really threw Tindall's strategy off, and then you have to adjust mid game, and in these best of ones, it's hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, well played by both. Congratulations to MyGuy on that victory. Let's move on to the next game. We have here JFletch, who always brings an exciting team, an explosive team, and then Marp. We've seen both these teams. I'm somewhat familiar with both these teams from watching them every week. JFletch has typically gone for some kind of really interesting strats. He had the weakness policy Ember on the Corviknight the one week. And Marp just has a really nice team for counterplay in general. I mean, he has Tailwind, he has Fake Out, he has Landorus, he has Intimidate, he has Lapras with who can set up the Aurora Veil. He has Cloud9, Licky Licky. So some really interesting teams. A lot of tools that can be used here.
Yeah, I feel like that Cloud9 is going to come in huge with this Sand Gigalith with the Sand Slash. I think part of the play here is going to be navigating this Landorus around this Mirror Armor Corviknight, because Landorus is really nice for reducing the damage on that Glastrier and then Sand Slash and Gigalith. But I know JFletch just recently traded for Rotom Frost and Glacier, I think, and bring them here as these ice to counter that Landorus. Seemingly, Rotom Frost also does well against Lapras, so that's a good bring. And it's got Levitate, so you could switch it in if Landorus tries to go for an Earthquake on that Gigalith or something like that. So. Although none of Marp's mons have flying resist, so I'm not sure it would be beneficial to go for Earthquakes, honestly. But yeah, this is really interesting, and I think if JFletch can get Trick Room up and capitalize it, he'll do well. If Marp can find a way to prevent that and start dishing out damage, I think it'll go well for him. So we'll have to see what happens.
All right, here we go.
Problem here is, if Marp tries to lead Salazzle to Fake Out, you can't Fake Out Rodriguez, so you can just get that Trick Room up.
I mean, we could see a taunt here. I mean, he has plenty of taunt on, so you could see that here. He leads JFletch leading the Corviknights.
Really interested to see what this Riolu does. Yeah, maybe expecting a ooh, the Mental Herb. Good bring on JFletch's
Wow,
part.
yeah, well done. And a Will-O-Wisp. That's a huge turn one for Marp. And as you can see here, Corviknight can freely max Airstream, and it does neutral or super effective damage on all of Marp's Pokemon. And as well, this Salazzle is really the only thing that can hit this Corviknight for a lot of damage.
That Trick Room is really risky because you could have just gotten Heat Wave by that Salazzle. But it looks like he's going for a bulk up Body Press set potentially, which is really nice because Body Press hits that Lapras for big damage and it doesn't care about the burn. But doesn't even opt to target the Salazzle with the Rodriguez. I wonder, this Corviknight just goes for another bulk up. I feel like it's really risky with the Salazzle. You can just throw off a Heat Wave.
And there it is. There's a Heat Wave.
Do we see like a berry potentially from the Corviknight?
I mean,
no berry, no leftover.
Yeah, and that burn's just gonna chip him down. So we do see a Figgy Berry. Okay, so
okay. So yeah, I would expect the Dynamax to come out there. So still relatively healthy. He got half its health in his Dynamax. We see a Helping Hand from Salazzle. I wonder if he double targets into it just to get rid of it, because it could be running Sash.
And I think he is gonna double into it just to be safe.
The times to attack. Oh wow! Just for the Whimsicott. I think the kill.
It
Oh,
misses the Corviknight. I
Corviknight.
think that would have been a KO right there.
That might have sealed the game right there. Honestly, losing your Dynamax and you're already in two turns Trick Room. That was a huge miss.
So I think it's
That's
Corviknight.
rough. 90% chance.
So
Yep, in the win rate.
So we can see here that this taunt's about to end. Trick Room's about to end. JFletch might try to set up Trick Room again. He's taken out two of Marp's Pokemon, but the cost is pretty high here, in my opinion. I mean, he's got a burn Corviknight. He does have some defense, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, you're going to lose that Trick Room for the rest of the game, and then Glacier will have to operate outside of Trick Room. And it's since he can only G-Max his Corviknight, it's going to be non-Dynamax, where it's a lot less threatening. I mean, still really scary. But yeah, this Lapras just burning the last turn of Trick Room with that Max Guard. Really smart. Ooh, and he gets information with Coco Greaves revealing that ally switch. Coaching. Boosting up the defense with Lapras. I wonder if it's weakness policy. So we could see a big body press though with 2.5 times defense. That's going to do big damage with this Corviknight. However, now it's going to be slower. I wonder if we see another ally switch with this Coco Gregas, and if Marp will read into that and use a max hailstorm.
The vacuum wave weakness policy. Love it, Marp. Love to see it.
No ally switch. Did Marp try to read it? He might have. Or he might have just not wanted that Trick Room to go up. So I think going into the Coco Gregas is actually a good play there either way, because if he ally switches, you get rid of the Corviknight. If he doesn't ally switch, you stop Trick Room. So I like that play by Marp. Not going for the body press though. I wonder if JFletch brought it, or if he was just opting to go bulky. And we saw the Wind Rage, we saw the Steel Spike, we saw the bulk up. We haven't seen the last move yet. I wonder if it is body press. He could opt to take out this Licky to get that sand damage. However, the Geyser is going to get rid of that sand right away. And now JFletch has also lost his Weather Setter. Icy Wind.
And I think
your armor going to lower its own speed.
I think Marp, he doesn't want this Licky on the field because it is actually inhibiting Lapras's water moves, but he also doesn't want to switch to that Landorus and actually lower his own Landorus' attack. So I think he's just waiting to take out this Corviknight, which I'm expecting to happen pretty soon here. But now we're seeing this Lapras is really well set up. It's in great position, and let's see if we can carry home for Marp.
Aurora Veil, Rain, 2 times special attack, 1.5 times defense, and it's got the speed control because there's no Trick Room up. Like this Lapras is looking really, really good. I wonder if we see a close combat from the Glacier, possibly into this Lapras. See the knockoff though. Assault Vest, that would have been huge to eat those attacks. We see a close combat into the Licky, maybe trying to read and protect from that Lapras. But no, the Lapras is just going to be dishing out damage here. I'm not sure how JFletch plans on getting through this Lapras. It doesn't have any special defense boosts, so this Rotom Frost could possibly come in and hit it with a big Thunderbolt. Resist that Thunder, good switch. Now that the Glacier doesn't have that.
Now I'm not sure why. Rude. I'm not sure why Lapras is not going for a water move here.
Well, Hydro Pump can miss if that's what he has, and Thunder's guaranteed to hit in the rain. So
except with
maybe
Licky,
he's just going
with Licky out there. It's not guaranteed to hit in the rain. So
I might have forgotten that though.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's hit his Thunder, so it's good damage, but also, Thunder doesn't hit his other, JFletch's other Pokemon for very good. So, and we're seeing the Corviknight is clear. I think it was going for like a stall kind of win here. I think JFletch wanted to boost up his Corviknight's defense, and it has Roost, and he's trying to go for an end game where Corviknight's just sort of unkillable.
That turn 1 burn though really hurts him, and Marp's got a few special attackers on his team too, with Whimsicott, Salazzle, and Lapras. So. And with no body press, that burn kind of neutralizes the attack boost, but that 2.5 times defense boost really doesn't help too much, except for against this Landorus, who now has lowered attack because of this mirror armor.
Now, I assume we're
Lapras, I
probably
think-
going to see a Thunder out of this Lapras because the Corviknight doesn't have any special defense boosts. And
Right. Perfect, but there's no Aurora Veil up.
goes
See
for
a
the
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
This is the Corviknight again. This Corviknight is dodging moves left and right this game.
I mean, this Corviknight has been out. This Corviknight has, was 1/4 health
But the rocks
after the second turn of the game, and it is still out here. It is not dying.
Rock Slide is rough. Honestly, if that Rock Slide didn't glitch, I wonder what this Corviknight was going to go for. If it went for an Iron Head, I mean, a critical hit could have done big damage to the Lapras potentially. And Marp misses the Blizzard. This is coming down to a huge end game here because this Lapras opts to take out the Corviknight, but honestly, I think Rotom was the bigger threat there. Because Rotom now does this Thunderbolt take out Lapras?
I think Rotom's actually in trouble because, as you see there, it outsped that Landorus, which means it's probably Scarfed.
Ooh, correct. And it's got Blizzard double resisting on this Lapras. But oh my gosh, Lapras, this is a Hydro Pump. We're going to need either 2 Blizzards here, possibly a crit. This is the Blizzard back. This is an intense battle. Hydro Pump with that special attack boost. Huge.
That, we've seen very few games, I think, come that close this season. And I don't think I've seen a Pokemon live as long as that Corviknight did. That Corviknight was out on the field, never switched out, and it survived I think, 12 or 13 turns.
Yeah, it survived almost till the very end of the game there. Very impressive. That Roost helped it survive, but I think having Body Press would have been nice for dishing out damage with those defense boosts. So that first turn burn really rough. I think this game is really interesting. We saw a lot of misses with these low accuracy moves.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder, Blizzard, Heat Wave. So really interesting. That's just what happens sometimes in Pokemon. I think Marp got the win here 1-0. I think if he hits that Heat Wave, he wins it a lot more handily. If he misses that Will-O-Wisp turn 1 though, it might go in JFletch's favor here. So yeah, a lot of things that could have twisted the tide in this game. Yeah, Marp, job, good prep to both, and he got his first win, so good for him.
Yeah, good for Marp. As usual, JFletch, making for an exciting battle. Marp, I really like the coaching bring for the Lapras because JFletch's team is primarily physical, and the weakness policy Vacuum Wave was awesome. And JFletch, I actually really like bringing the Corviknight first. The Corviknight, I think, was the interesting player here for JFletch because the Wind Rage can take out, I believe it'll take down the Aurora Veil from the Lapras, but he doesn't wait for the Lapras to come out. He just Dynamaxes really early. But at the same time, that Mirror Armor deterring the Landorus and going for a setup endgame. I mean, he executed the game plan pretty well, and it just came down to the wire. And Marp, honestly, somewhat lucky that JFletch was choiced. I don't know how the game would have played out otherwise, but congratulations, Marp, and good game to you both. We're going to move on to the next one.
Yes, very exciting to watch. Very exciting. Okay, so we got Gera versus Pika.
Gera versus Pika. Oh, we're seeing now Pika's team really interesting. No Credilli this week, and I think we can see somewhat why. I mean, the only water type on Gera's side is this Tapu Fini, which is kind of scary, but maybe Pika has another plan for it, for dealing with it. What do you take of this matchup specifically, Goomer?
Well, Sneasel's got Sneasel's got Surf, and it can't be faked out. Not that Pika has any fake outers, but it doesn't get affected by Follow Me either. So I don't see a great way for Pika to stop this steam engine from going off. The problem is you do have for example, Rotom, who might be carrying like a Rindo Berry to eat up one of those a max Overgrowth, and then it could just Hydro Pump it back. The Rotom looks really strong here. In addition, you could be running Scorching Sands Charizard potentially to get rid of it. But Gera has some really good counters for this Charizard too. In potentially Thunderbolt Duraludon, you've got Colossal, who's a huge counter to it. If it has that Steam Engine, you've got Tapu Fini, you've got Zapdos. Zapdos, as we've seen in the meta, is really scary right now. And that Duraludon threatens both the Clefable with the Steel moves, or aim with Stalwart, being able to ignore it and hit the other Pokemon. So it's really interesting. It looks like Pika brought Trick Room mode with this Dusknoir, and it doesn't look like Gera necessarily has a way to stop that unless he's running his own Trick Room on Mr. Mime to reverse it. But yeah, other than that, it looks like Gera might just go for this Surf stuff. So
yeah. So something that's really interesting though is Clefable might be the best follow me Pokemon to use against Colossal because of its unaware ability. I've actually thought about using Clefable for that reason. Most of you probably know
true.
The unaware, it ignores all the stat boosts. So yeah, Sneasel can go for the Surf on the Colossal, and it can get its Steam Engine, but the Weakness Policy boost, if it has Weakness Policy, isn't going to do anything if it's attacking that Clefable. So we'll see if Pika can utilize that, and we'll see what they lead. You want to hop into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Malamar. Are we going to see the Dusknoir?
Superpower?
We do see the Dusknoir.
I think last time the Dusknoir protecting the Malamar was actually the one that set up Trick Room.
Interesting.
We see the Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime can fake out that Malamar. We see Eviolite for the Mr. Mime. I was expecting either Sash or Eviolite. He might be opts to switch it out though. Threatened by that Finny Moonblast potentially after a fake out.
Yeah, and Magnezone very not threatened by this Finny.
So I guess the Dusknoir might be specially bulky and was possibly wanting to set up Trick Room if the Steam Engine was going to come up. Yeah, we see that huge Poltergeist come out. Tapu Fini just setting up. Kind of threatened by this Magnezone though. It opts to throw out the Zapdos. That's an interesting play. It's got the Misty Seed to get so two Spectre. Eerie Impulse on the Magnezone. Really nice tech.
I did not know Zapdos got Eerie Impulse. That's interesting.
And Misty, or not Misty, Moonblast doing half damage on this Dusknoir.
Wow,
yeah, with that Eerie Impulse and the special defense boost, Tapu Fini just not taking too much from it. You see the Trick Room set up. This Dusknoir with like a Poltergeist and Thunderbolt, I think, would double up and take out the Tapu Fini, I think. Wow, but opts to switching the Clefable. Risky because if this Clefable goes down, that really hinders his chance to deal with the Weakness Policy boosted Colossal.
Wow, and a freeze
on the
Zapdos.
I feel so bad. I froze Zapdos with a freeze dry in my game a couple weeks ago, or last week, I think.
This Zapdos just has bad. This Zapdos needs to get away from these ice moves because
does not like the cold.
wow, so sorry.
Poltergeist, 90 accuracy. Yeah, sometimes I forget that it's not 100% accurate. Muddy Water not taking out that Dusknoir though. That Moonblast only barely did half. That spread reduced damage. Attack from Duraludon, so it's not carrying a Soul Vest. And given that Moonblast, how much that did, makes sense. Dusknoir has some decent attack though. This Poltergeist is going to do big damage on this Finny.
Yeah.
Attacked with a Citrus Berry, but uses it to heal back up. Stalling out these Trick Room turns. Muddy Water, a miss. Takes out the Dusknoir, who I think the Finny was more interested in taking out, so that it can't reset that Trick Room. Though damage on this Clefable would be really nice. Got one more turn to stall out. This Magnezone can probably pretty easily take out the Duraludon with a Body Press, and opting to sack that Zapdos, probably eating that. Oh, we see the Moonblast. Magnezone. Thunderbolt into Finny. Wow, and it takes it out with because no more Eerie Impulse.
Yeah.
Except the stack up.
Finally going down, and we're gonna see if I'm Gera, I'm trying to set up here. I'm trying to prepare to set up Colossal. And I'm trying to think about how do I set this up. Looks like he's saving Colossal for the very end to match up against this Charizard, and this Zapdos just can't do a thing because of the freeze.
See, the problem here is if Pika only opts to KO one Pokemon's Gera's Pokemon at a time, he can't freely get the double switch in that he needs for the setup.
He actually takes out the Zapdos. I mean, taking out the Zapdos, yeah, you could take out the Duraludon and leave this frozen Zapdos on the field, but if that Zapdos does wake up, it does threaten this Charizard. So I can kind of see why Pika, opted to just get rid of it.
I wonder if we see Sneasel kind of fake out and stall a turnout. The fake tears, but contrary doubles the specialty. That's an easy mistake to forget, for sure. Superpower. It is Sash though, but Superpower is actually going to boost its attack and defense with that specialty. Now the body press taking out Sneasel. No way to set up this Colossal anymore.
And this Malamar is looking sort of ferocious right now. I mean, it's got double its special D. It's got a boosted attack. Colossal not looking super strong here in this position it's currently in. I expect Pika to just kind of take out the Duraludon and then 1v4 this Colossal. We'll see what happens.
Wonder if the Max Quake comes in this Magnezone. See, the thing is, Malamar does have an attack boost, but it will activate a weakness policy if it goes into the Colossal. So yeah, good play going into the Duraludon and just getting those boosts. Don't want to activate any weakness policy there. Max Flare into the Magnezone. Setting up the Sun. Problem is Colossal's slower than both of these Pokemon, most likely. And Malamar can freely go for a big superpower. Yep, and that's going to do half of Dynamax health. That's huge. See the weakness policy, but even without it, I think Colossal is going to take out either of these Pokemon, so it didn't necessarily need it in this position. And that is one thing that's really tough if you don't lead Colossal setups in this, especially is it makes positioning very hard because you have to get in your setup Pokemon and Colossal at the same time. You have to either let both your Pokemon go down at once, or use something like a U-turn or something like that. Or if you switch in, you risk taking damage on your Dynamax Pokemon or losing your setup Pokemon. So it's kind of hard to play around in draft if you don't lead it.
Gera opting for the Max Guard, but it's not going to change the outcome of this one, unfortunately. And we see Charizard does carry the Scorching Sands because he throws out the Max Quake. He was ready for that Colossal. A Scorching Sands from a Charizard in the sun with that Solar Power boost, very scary for this Colossal. I think you're absolutely right, Goomer. I think Colossal can be one of the most scary Pokemon to face against. But if it's not positioned really well with a support that can proc their weakness policy or something like that, you see it's just not nearly as effective. And Pika played really well with a lot of his Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, Gera still brought it down to a 2-0, even with the freeze hacks and some tough positioning there. But I think sometimes in draft you don't want to do the obvious thing. Obviously your team, the other team's going to be prepping for Colossal and Sneasel, but at the same time, like that might be just the best mode to go with. Because even if you prep for something, it still might be difficult to deal with, and so. I think sometimes we want to go for a sneaky play and keep Pokemon in the back. But when you need two Pokemon for a certain setup, it makes it really, really difficult to do that. So good prep, some good tech moves there. That's tough that the Zapdos got frozen, but Pika played a really good game, and I think he actually had a little bit better of a matchup, to be honest, with that Unaware Clefable.
Yeah, and I think some of the key plays of the game was that does Snork here in the Poltergeist, so that I could actually dish out pretty good damage. I mean, it just Okos that Mr. Mime, really early on. Freezing the Zapdos was a huge play. Um, and then, Gera just forgetting the contrary on the Malamar and just giving it a special defense boost. That was another humongous play. Um,
I
you
mean,
know,
Flash Cannon was still doing good damage on that Malamar, so without that special defense boost, it would have been 2-hit KO'd.
yeah. And we see here, yeah. So Pika wins 2-0. Good prep on both sides. And congratulations, Pika. Good game overall. Let's move on to the last game of this week's kind of review of the draft. We've got Team Voltage Tom, which I believe is TomElvis, versus Coby. We've got the G-Max Rillaboom, and then I think on Coby's side we have, is it the G-Max Grimmsnarl?
Yes.
Interesting matchup here. You see some of the first things I notice here. We've got the Hatterene. Well, Hatterene can't Dynamax, so you can't go for
yes.
You can't go for the cheesy copycat stuff. But Hatterene really threatening for that Grimmsnarl, honestly. And you see here that Coby bringing the Tapu Bulu because it's expecting this Rillaboom to, I think, set the grassy terrain. Although it doesn't get Grassy Glide, does it? No, it doesn't.
No, it does not. However, yeah. However, I mean, so Scrafty looks really good here. Almost every single mon besides Vanillix is physical. You can technically run special like Volt Switch, Luxray, but typically it's physical. And so Intimidate's gonna be really useful. In addition, he's just got a good matchup with like that fighting type against those ice. And the other thing is that Purloin can carry some weather moves, so you can opt to Sunny Day or Rain Dance. Rain Dance for the Dracovish potentially, and get rid of that hail.
Yeah, and something else is you see the Vanillix not having a great matchup against that Scrafty just because it's fighting type, and Scrafty being really key here. Intimidating all of Kobe's other Pokemon, but Vanillix is interesting here because you can have Freeze Dry, which can Oko that Dracovish. You can also throw out nasty Blizzards for the rest of Tom's team. So positioned correctly, it could be kind of scary. It also sets up that Arctivish pretty well. So I really don't know what could happen with this battle. So I'm excited to jump into it and see.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this Purloin's gonna be super useful. Yeah, that's my prediction.
All right, let's jump in here. I bet we see a charm. I bet we see a charm out of that Purloin. I would bet you money on that.
The other thing is, it's bringing Spritzy and Purloin, two unevolved Mons. This Spritzy can carry Trick Room, I believe, but I'm interested to see what else it does. I think it might get Ally Switch too, which could be really interesting. Wow, a Purloin Scrafty lead. Not what I expected. So you can change the weather now. Best ops to Fake Out though. The problem is the Hail's gonna break a Sash if it's on this Purloin, and Vanillix could just take it out with a Blizzard.
We do see it launching off a Blizzard here. Wow. Is that a Sash or is that just a
Close combat? Yeah, it was Sash.
Yeah, it was Sash. Right. But it is gonna be taken
Scrappy
by the
now
Hail.
lower special move. Another Blizzard actually will take this out, especially with the Hail Chip. So I expect to see a switch from the Scrafty because you want to save that Intimidate for the rest of Kobe's team.
I agree. And after the close combat, you're having those lower defenses. Yeah, just better to switch out here. So Coby throwing in the Grimmsnarl. We'll see if he Dynamaxes here. Pretty safe to Dynamax. I don't know what to expect out of the Spritzy though.
Spritzy can
It's got some good supportive moves.
Thanks to moves with Eviolite potentially. Wow, just opts to protect. No switch from the Scrafty. Ooh, I bet we see a Trick Room. Is there guaranteed to hit this?
I would not be surprised.
No freeze. A max knuckle on the Scrafty.
Yeah, maybe wanting to, maybe not wanting to switch out and have one of his other Pokemon eat that hit.
Tapu Bulu could easily eat up a close combat here. So I wonder if we see the Vanillix switch out. We see the Scrafty switch out for Dracovish. Is it Iron Ball Dracovish?
If it's Iron Ball Dracovish, that would kind of be insane, to be honest. Oh, but the Intimidate.
Good call from Coby to switch in that Intimidate. The Spritzy ally switches. Wow, because we're expecting maybe another Max Knuckle, which won't do too much into that Spritzy. Oh my goodness, and a Starfall into Dracovish.
Now, that could have been him wanting to take out the Spritzy, not deal with Trick Room a second time, or that could have been a massive read on the side of Coby. Either way, good play, takes out the Dracovish. That's a huge play for Coby.
If Coby can read a switch-in ally switch from a Dracovish, I don't ever want to play Coby again.
Well, he switched in last turn, but then he ally switched.
Hatterene is going to be doing big damage. This Grimmsnarl's been carrying weakness policy a lot, though. I wonder if we're going to see it here.
Wait, did he switch?
A weakness policy.
Actually, Gimme, you're right. He did switch in and then ally switch. So if Coby,
That would have been the read of the century.
that would have been a read of the century. Yeah. That. I mean, Spritzy is he doesn't want to deal with Trick Room. You can tell, but. Because I think what he wants to do is set up the Cinderace to take on this Rillaboom, and that's probably why he wants to get rid of the Spritzy. So,
yeah, I mean, he's basically looking for this Rillaboom endgame. The problem I see is that this Cinderace is really, really threatening, especially without Intimidate, and he's already switched in Scrafty. Wonder if we see the Scrafty Protect here. Hand onto the Grimmsnarl. Interesting. Ooh, and a Sucker Punch. It's still Trick Room.
what is this Rillaboom going for?
So this Rillaboom switched in.
Oh, he just switched it. Wait, I thought he came in after. Oh, you're right. He did switch in.
And he's got the defense boost, actually, which really helps against the Cinderace now. So that's a good bring on Tom's side for that Grassy Seed, because a Pyro Ball against a Dynamax Rillaboom with a defense boost, they're probably doing about half.
The problem is he has to watch out for this Vanillix as well, so...
It is Trick Room, though, which
he gives up the Rillaboom Grassy Seed boost.
Opts to throw the game with the Dynamax.
Wait, what's going on here?
Oh man, I feel bad.
Wait,
I think
could that have been?
Tom actually had this game.
Do you think? Wait, Scrafty. He actually has the G-Max Scrafty. It could have been. It could have been just an accident on on Tom's part. Maybe he meant to switch out the Scrafty and Dynamax the Rillaboom. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. I know. Tom did sub in for Snom too as well.
Yeah, we see it was a misclick by Tom, and he kind of has to give that one up. That would honestly came down to the wire. I mean, Coby had Vanillix and Cinderace that could have really threatened that Rillaboom, but then again, I mean, Rillaboom Dynamax is not easy to take down, and he could have had Quake, he could have had, Max Knuckle,
right?
Just Drum Solo just does a ton, anyways. And then
I was expecting to see the Scrafty switch out to reset that Intimidate, and then the G-Max Rillaboom. That's really sad that we don't get to see that end game.
I mean, that really could have gone either way, and I honestly, Tom could have definitely won that.
I do feel like Tom would have had a little bit difficulty dealing with the Tapu Bulu, though. The other thing is Cinderace. Cinderace could go for Pyro Ball stuff. However, you still got that ally switch Spritzy which is annoying. But the thing is, Cinderace can also stall out Dynamax turns with like bounce or something like that. So I feel like it was a little bit more in Coby's favor, probably like 60-40. Tom having that full amount of Dynamax, defense boost on the Rillaboom, Grassy Train up, I think he absolutely had a chance here.
Yeah, I mean,
for breaking.
Yeah, it definitely could have. I mean, Tom definitely could have brought it back. He seemed like he had an end game plan. He was saving the Intimidate, and Dynamax that Rillaboom. Rillaboom would have been really scary here. I think it at least picks up 2 KOs here, at the very minimum. But yeah, unfortunately, a misclick, and he's got to forfeit Close game.
Ouch.
I think without the misclick, it would have been a close game. It was still a really good game overall. So unfortunate, but yeah, that's the final game of this week's draft review. We didn't have anyone on to be interviewed, any guests this week to kind of just talk about draft and their team battle. That's kind of just on us, not really scheduling it and sort of doing this last second. So that's on us. But
we might do an episode for a little playoff preview though, like before round 6 starts.
Yep.
Just to talk about. No, are we in round 6 now?
Yeah, we're about to go. Yeah, round 6 is people are ready to do their battles for round 6.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah, we don't even have time to do a playoff preview. But we can do a playoff preview once we figure out once the matches are done and we see who makes the top cut, and we can talk about the potential matchups there. So yeah, coming into the final weeks here, this third season for the Pokemon Battle Fortress Draft League. Really interesting. I haven't looked at who needs wins and who needs to make playoffs in this final week, but
yeah.
I feel like it'd be pretty close, especially with just a 6-game season.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that and see who's relying on that week 6 win to make the playoffs. Yeah, the season's been going by pretty fast actually. It seems like, yeah, I guess we'll find out. And yeah, we should do that draft review video. If anyone has any ideas for these kind of videos and you want to be you have a suggestion or something like that, I definitely we want to do like interviews with people and talk about their teams, because it's me and Goomer talking about teams and everything the whole time. We want to get some other people's input and just kind of be able to have their voice heard for a little bit on some of these videos, because I think draft's really interesting. It's really fun to talk about. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Anything else that you think we need to say, Goomer?
Nope. I agree with what you said. Just hit up Saki, let him know you want to be on, and we can try to get you on next time. And yeah, I've really enjoyed doing these. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed them as well. Well, that's the end. So we'll see you next week, and thanks for hopping in again, Goomer.
All right.
Adios.
Ciao.